Yeah. So we have the three types of constructors. What are the three types of constructors? So one is the default constructor, and another one is the parameterized constructor. Parameterized. Third one is the copy constructor. Okay, these are the three types of constructor. So we will discuss those. How will what we call like default constructor and how it called parameterized constructors. Okay. So whenever we don't pass anything, the default constructor will be called. So whenever we are creating an object, so we are calling the constructor, right? So where the default constructor will be automatically called. So first one, default constructor. So, so whenever when we does not provide any when we does not provide doesn't provide any parameters, we call as default constructor. Okay. The syntax of this is syntax. Syntax is class name, class name, open flower braces, open braces, close braces, and open flower braces. And close. This is the block. So the where whatever the class name it is there, we can have the access specifier. Access specified class name. This is our wish. If we want to provide, we can provide the access specifier. If you don't want, that will be default. So this is syntax. The example is like, for example, here we have taken class A. Class A. So class A. Statements. If you don't provide any statement also, that is also fine. but automatically the compiler will understand this default constructor. Whenever we are creating the object, that automatically it will call the default constructor. Okay. So, for example, of the default constructor, we can create one program. I'll give one sample code class. So I will use the car class. So car class can have I have created a constructor public car is the constructor. I'm creating system dot out just to make sure it is a default constructor. Print. So, so what we can call it as default constructor. Next, I'm creating a static void main box. So I'm going to create a object for the car class. Car object obj. So this is the name of the object equal to new car. Okay. So if I run this, you will get the output of this. Okay. So if you want, I will copy it, paste it, save it. Save it or dot Java. It can be save Java C car dot Java default constructor. Okay. Are you getting? So it's created the object and it is called the like this default constructor. So if this is a default constructor. If we won't mention this also, it will create. Why? Because while the creation of the object, it will by default it will create an constructor. It will call the constructor to create that to allocate the memory space to the particular object. That is the thing. It will happen. That is the default constructor. Okay. So next is um, parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor means we can pass the um, parameters. That's it. As simple as it is. We can pass the so if we not provided any constructor here, it will also by default like the rule is it will by default it will create the constructor. Like if there is no constructor in the class, whatever I mentioned, constructor in class, compiler will automatically automatically creates a default constructor. So the while the parameterized constructor, so well, the parameter constructors, what we will do, so we can pass the parameters as the constructor. So the constructor can have the parameters. Constructor can have the parameters which has a specific uh, constructor can have the uh, constructor constructor which has a specific number of parameters, like constructors specific number of parameters. So the constructor which has the specific number of parameters is called parameterized constructor. సో ఏం లేదు, మనం పారామీటర్స్ ని ఎన్ని పారామీటర్స్ కావాలని అన్ని పారామీటర్స్ పాస్ చేసుకుంటే దాన్ని పారామీటరైజ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ అంటాం. What is the use of the parameterized constructor? So to provide the different values to the distinct objects. So what is the use of it is to provide the different values to the object. To provide different values. Distinct objects. So, or we can create, we can pass same values also. And provide the same values also. So example of the parameterized constructor is, so we can pass the parameters. Param one, so the I will take the another class. For example, the student class I am taking, and I'm creating a instance variables that is what we can have in student ID and string name of the student. Okay. So I'm calling that parameterized constructor. So creating Adam Creating parameter constructs. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm passing the those whatever that values create passed through the parameter instructor. I'm taking those parameters in here. So int I and like whatever the name in. So I'm assigning these to the class variables like instance variable. I'm assigning it. So id equal to I and name equal to here. So just I'm printing it is coming here or not param constructor. Okay. So I'm creating one more object here. Sorry, one more method here. Void display method. So display. So in this, I'm going to display those details. Student details. So in the main method, I'm creating a object to that particular student st1 student class. I'm creating. Okay. I'm calling I'm passing the parameters to particular mm, so I'm passing the parameters to that particular constructor, parameter constructor. So I'm creating another object here. I'm passing equal to. Okay. So these are I'm passing I'm creating the object and passing the values. I'm creating the objects. Objects and passing the values. Okay. Next time, what I'm trying to do is next, I'm calling the method to display the those values. Calling the methods to display the values of that object. So what should I do? How can I, in the student only, we have the instance variables and methods. మనం ఎప్పుడైతే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తామో ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లోనే మనకి ఏముంటాయి క్లాస్ యొక్క వేరియబుల్స్ క్లాస్ యొక్క మెథడ్స్ అనేవి ఉంటాయి. ఇప్పుడు మనం వీటిని యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోవాలంటే ఏం చేస్తాం మనం ఆ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ తోటే మనము యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోగలుగుతాం. సో ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు కాల్ ది డిస్ప్లే మెథడ్. జస్ట్ ఐఎమ్ కాలింగ్ ది డిస్ప్లే మెథడ్. Okay, so let's see. So I'm creating a new class. I'm saving it. Java code. Okay. Student dot Java. Okay. And compiling Java C compiler, compiling the code Java C space class name dot Java. Class name is student. I'm entering. So Java student. So first parameter constructor. Print I have used it has printed. The second also parameter constructor it has called it. Because I have created two times. The object is created two times. That's why it is called twice. Okay. Parameter constructor. So first it is assigned to the student details 111 Shiva and student details 222 Lord. Why? Because I have print I have used, I haven't used the println. So if I use the println, it will print in the new line. Okay. It will print in the new line. If I compile, recompile it. So parameter constructor details 1, 2. So this is the parameter constructor. Okay. So so this is all about parameter constructor. Okay. Next is copy constructor. Third one is copy constructor. The copy constructor, why we use the copy constructor is basically copy constructor is used to copy the object. Okay. That is used to copy the entire object of that um, entire one object into the another object. That is used to make copy constructor. Mm. So, so copy constructor, there is no copy constructor in Java. However, like we can copy the values from one object to another, like the copy constructor in C++. So the C++, we have the copy constructor, but we can copy the values, copy the entire object into the uh, so entire the object into one object into another. That will be uh, that will be created by using the like by creating the by using the constructor and by assigning the values to one object to another, and we have that one method uh, called clone method. Using the clone method, we can call the entire object of the class and we can copy it. Okay. So specifically, there is no copy constructor. However, So however, we are copying like however that copy constructor in the C++, we can copy the values by using the constructor, and we can um, there are few ways to copy the values of one object to another. So by using one is by using constructor. The second one by assigning the values of one object. One object into another. Third one is by using clone method. The object class. So this is about the copy constructors. Copy constructor is nothing but like we have we are creating that object, right? The same object uh, values should be present. I want the same object to be copied into that S2. So how can I copy? So that is the thing. Like if that same object data values should be present in the S2. But in that case, we will use that by using the constructor we will use, and by assigning the values of the one object values into the other object, we can, and by using the clone method, we can like so one object into another. How we can do is like however we whenever we are creating the object and we will pass the same object into this. I will give an example for this. So if we take the same example, there is no copy constructor means like we can copy the values of that particular object. Okay. So here I'm creating that same object, uh, same. I'm just modifying the class name to one and creating that object to one. So I want that same object here. Same object should be copied to the second object. So what should I do is like I want to pass this object into this constructor. So then it will automatically copy the entire object into the S2. We'll see that. Okay. So is it work or not? We'll see. And just control and paste, copy, save, 2 and 1. Yeah, save as. Java. Java. What happened? It has gone through infinite loop. So infinite loop, it is gone. So until unless I'm closing, it is coming. 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 Why? Because I have given that wrong extension. Okay. So it has gone through. So how should I like exit this? See what happened. I'm closing the window, but it's again opening. Why? Because I am given Ajav. Ajav is an extension, but I have to give that Java is an extension, but I have mentioned by mistake, typo mistake, it has wrong. It has gone through a infinite loop. Okay. So how can I overcome this? I have to control shift escape. The task manager will open. I have to close that particular um, end task. I have to do the that notepad. I have ended in the task manager. So that will be closed. Okay. So now I can open. I can just directly go into that particular Java code. So Java is in a file. What is that Java file? I don't know, but it's by mistake. Okay, I have removed it and I'm opening the Notepad++. So last at the end of the we have these many files. Student Java, student.java. So we have already saved with that student one. We can open with Notepad++. So it's open. Student one already what it is Postgres. It's saved with a different thing. Okay, let me take a new one and let me copy it. Otherwise, I will rename. Just a second. Let me copy this, paste it, save it. So Java, see, student one dot Java. Yeah, I haven't mentioned, but that uh, yes. So here I have created the constructor with the object. So for that I have to write the another constructor. Here I am passing the parameter is constructor, but I haven't created the object as a parameter constructor. So for that I have to create one another um, constructor with that object. What is that object? We are passing student one. With that object we are passing, right? As a object as a parameter. So we have to use that object name, the reference name dot I. So I'm copying these variables, these whatever the this object can have the parameters, those values I'm passing. So in this copy one object. Okay. So I'm saving here. I'm recompiling it. So here I have mentioned that these instance variables I have to mention. Why? Because that object have the instance variable, right? So that's we have to write. So what I did two mistakes is one is I haven't created that uh, object parameterized constructor, and another one is cannot find symbol. This object, whatever the object, so st1 object have the whatever the uh, members we it have id and name, right? In the id and name, st1 dot id st1 dot name, the values are present. So we are have to assign those values to this um, we are whatever the creating st2 object, but those id members we are assigned, so we have to copy properly. So now we can able to run the student one. So the same is copied to the second one. Okay, this is about copies, but there is no specific copy constructor, but we can copy like this. Using three ways we can copy it, using clone method and using the constructor, and other one is without constructor, like we can directly access those, like if here we are, so I want to create another object, I want to create in a different way. So how can I? Student one st3 st3 equal to new student one. So will this is that, like I don't want to pass any parameters, but I want to like pass it this. I can access those st1 dot id. That's it. The simple. These value will be added, copied to this.